But guys, there's a difference between talking and talking. Okay? So, for instance, what I do every day here for 3 hours, I'm talking. I'm talking to you.
Yep.
We talk to our radio audience. I'm talking to our Roku audience. But on occasion, TJ Jefferson, certainly when it comes to college football this week, I've been talking.
With your chest.
Talking. In terms of that, kind of been talking to myself. You sometimes chime in on my behalf, like you're happy and I'm talking. He thinks I'm talking too much, this guy over here. That's okay. It's okay.
It's not like you were a player.
No, I understand that.
That's a good point.
Well, perfect segue, Chris, because I wanted to start talking with somebody who knows what I'm talking about. Because basically, when he arrived there, we had 0 wins against Ohio State in quite some time. And then number 0 started showing up and showing out. Now we got 4 in a row. Joining us from the Washington Commanders, where he's seeing the playoffs once again in his sights, is the rookie cornerback from the University of Michigan, national champion Mike Sainristil. How are you doing, Mike? Good to see you.
Chris, that was amazing, man. That was amazing. I'm doing great, though. I'm doing great. All is well.
You are. It's great to see a nice Rose Bowl gear that you've got on right there.
I gotta have it on. You know what I'm saying? Playoffs coming up. Gotta represent.
I like it. I like it.
Although unfortunately we aren't in this year, but
I know.
I'm a ride or die with my guys always.
So where were you watching the game over the weekend, Mike?
I was here. I was in my home.
Okay.
I had so many different emotions watching that game, but it was dope. It was dope to see those guys go out there and play with nothing but heart, play for each other, and just execute and come out that game with the W.
What were your emotions? Walk me through them watching this game. As a national champion Michigan Wolverine, you left a standard there that, for many reasons, unfortunate, the wins and losses were not supporting in the follow-up year from Team 144, and then you saw what you saw in this game. What were your emotions, Mike?
Really, it was just like, listen, no matter what, go out there and find a way to win this game by any means necessary. I was super happy to see how well the defense played, and just guys showing up when they needed to. And, just like Khalil, I don't know how he broke out of those tackles, but he did it. He found a way. Davis connecting to Payne O'Leary for a big third down conversion. And then I think a play that is very undernoticed, but might have won us that game, was the scramble that Davis had to convert for a first down and keep the drive alive. And then Dominic just killing it with his leg. He's been doing that all year. But like I said, just, those few splash plays that showed up in that game ultimately, helped those guys go out there and finish it in a dominant manner. The defense played outstanding. The front seven, as always, from this year, the year before that, like, have always been showing up when it came to this game. And in my opinion, football is always going to be won in the trenches, no matter how explosive you are in your skill positions. I feel like the game of football is always won in the trenches, and our guys in the trenches showed up to play.
And again, you weren't there, but you've been in this game multiple times, and it seemed once again that The Ohio State University, because I'm trying to be respectful, include the in there.
Now you are?
No, you. Yes. What do you mean now I am?
Don't hurt yourself.
Okay. I did pull something.
Yeah.
So with The Ohio State, once again, seeming to lose itself within a game plan within the game by trying to run straight at the strength of Michigan's defense rather than going outside where their apparent strength was. What happens in this game, Mike? What happens in this game where sometimes Ohio State loses itself in the middle of it?
I think, kind of like I just mentioned, that, that game comes down to the team that's willing to out-physical the other. It showed up in years past, even when, when they were winning. I feel like it was a team that was going the whole distance, going all 4 quarters, playing dominant. And you, like I mentioned, you have to be able to run the football. I don't care how many weapons you have outside. If you can't run the ball, I don't think you can establish a offense that's like, I feel like as a defense, it's easy to put an offense in a situation where they're going to pass the ball. But when you have that balance of being able to run the ball, then you could throw a few passes over top. You force the safeties to come up. You force guys to play downhill. Then you could take those shots behind them. But it's tough when you don't establish that run game early on, and you get out physical.
I guess, screw it. Let me just go directly at it, Mike, because the conversation amongst us Wolverines that we talk about it, and a lot in the punditry talk about how Ohio State talks about being tough, but Michigan comes in and proves it and does it, and that has been part of the problem why the worm has turned in this rivalry. Would you agree with that as somebody who's been in this game and has looked in the eyes of Buckeyes across the line of scrimmage? Mike?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say in recent years, we've been the team that has been more physical, more dominant, and has been willing to go all 4 quarters. And it's simple, it's as simple as that.
Okay. A couple more things on this game, and then we'll turn to your current state of affairs for the Washington Commanders. Mike Sainristil here on the Rich Eisen Show. What are your 2 cents about the planting of the flag and everything else that came after that game, Mike?
I think I did it myself when I was there. I planted the flag. And in my opinion, right, when people go to war, you go to war, you take over people's territory, right? And you don't just the territory you take over, however that goes, like those people don't just come back to life and fight for the territory again, right? And of course, no one's dying out there on the football field. But what I'm saying is you walk into an opponent's stadium in a rivalry game, you win that game as, the away team. Technically, you've taken over their turf at that point. And, it's kind of what Khalil mentioned at the end of the game, like you have 4 quarters to show how tough you are. Don't come out at the end of the game once we're, celebrating on your field, trying to act tough now. But at the same time, as a human being, I understand the level of pride that comes with defending your territory. So I understand both sides, but like I said, look, our guys walked in there in a hostile environment, took over their turf, celebrated how they celebrated, and everything else that came after that. And is what happened.
Right. So in 2022, you were the one to personally take a flag into the middle of the horseshoe and jam it in the O on the 50?
Yes, I did do that. Yeah.
Okay. And were there any fisticuffs? Was there pushing, shoving similar to? Because I don't remember anything like that happening in 2022.
No, that did not happen then. No.
So why do you think it happened this time?
Honestly, I can't really tell you why. I think it's just it starts with, in my opinion, coaching. You have to be able to control your players. But like I said, I understand where those guys are coming from too. As you're not just gonna let somebody disrespect you, I guess, if you want to put it like that. But like I said, you have 4 quarters to disrespect however you want to. Once those 4 quarters are done, whatever happens after that.
And was it in this very room behind you that you were watching this game, Mike?
No, I was watching it upstairs in the living room.
Okay, very good.
It was myself, my girl, and my parents. My daughter was upstairs napping, so I was like quiet. I was quiet screaming. I was whisper screaming and stuff. It was funny.
Okay. And at what point did it dawn upon you that you now had the ability to talk smack to a veteran teammate, warrior from the Ohio State like Terry McLaurin? When did it dawn on you that you now had chitty chatter rights that you were going to exact during his press conference after your win over the Titans, Mike?
As soon as I want to say we got that, when we got them to 4th down, on their last possession, I was like, "There's no way they're getting a pass off right here." Like, I just knew, the guys up front were gonna get back there, force him to, make a bad pass or something. And I'm like, look, right after this play, I'm going live on Instagram. I'm tagging Terry, I'm tagging Jalen Holmes, Marshawn Lattimore, Noah Brown. There's actually Javante Jean-Baptiste. I have 5 Ohio State teammates.
Oh.
So just being able to have those bragging rights on those guys feels amazing.
But you're a rookie, Mike. No, I mean, that's okay, right, Mike?
Rivalry's a rivalry.
Okay. I got to tell you, Terry looked good holding up that number 0 of your jersey.
No,
Mike.
He did. Imagine what he could have done in Mason Blue.
Imagine what he could have done. Mike Sainristil here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about your rookie season. You're on your bye week. Commanders are 8-5. Walk me through how your first 13 games as a pro has gone in your estimation, Mike.
It's gone fast. It's gone very fast. But I think part of that is because, we're having a lot of fun here. Everything from a staff standpoint to player standpoint, everybody in the building is just a cohesive unit. Everybody appreciates each other. Everyone has a genuine care for each other, and it makes the work environment so much easier to be a part of. And, as a rookie, I love where I am in terms of the people I'm around and, what we're planning on doing, as a team. It's the best case scenario I could have, been a part of.
And so Dan Quinn, how has he guided your personal ship to this point, Mike?
Coach Quinn he's phenomenal. He's all about ball, all about figuring out ways to, get guys better. And, he's a true competitor. The way he talks, his passion behind what he does. There's 2 coaches that I'll always say I'll forever, want to play for. Coach Harbaugh and, Coach Quinn. Like, I just love how they're both wired. Coach Quinn, he's, like I said, he's a elite competitor, wants to be the best at what he does. And we see that each and every single day we go into the facility.
Well, I'm not going to ask you if you're hitting a rookie wall since you played 15 games last year, Mike. So you're not even at your complement of games that you played for Michigan last year and winning a national championship. But you also understand what it does take, even though you are a rookie, to finish strong. It's certainly in games where people are going to be looking at you to do such things. This past win over the Titans, what was going through that locker room leading to that, coming off of the losing streak you guys were on?
So, big shout out to Bobby Wagner. In our team meeting the Wednesday of that week, he kind of just, he stood up in front of the room and was saying, like, listen, in order for us to get to where we want to go, we have to get back to doing the little things, get back to the basic fundamentals and just pretty much regroup. Continue to have fun, continue having, appreciation for the little things that we go through, the small adversities that we go through, and, getting back to being disciplined, getting back to, like I mentioned, the basic fundamentals, because when it comes to, those games that we need to win later on in the season, those games are won because of the foundation that you set early on. And that's, the drill work, the team workouts. That's all of that is how much did you prepare yourself for the back end. You don't know what you're preparing for in the moment, but when you prepare at the championship level, that's when you become a champion. It's not the day a championship is played that you become a champion. It's what you did in the offseason to help yourself with that foundation for later on to have success.
I love that. I love that guy. Bobby Wagner is a Hall of Famer of Hall of Famers, period, end of story. He'll be first ballot when that happens. You got a good example of what it was like for you to realize first time you were on the back end, speaking of that word, of Bobby Wagner, one level behind him on the defense?
Yeah, I mean, he's exactly what you want. He embodies everything from, like you just said, he's a Hall of Famer. And, he's just a great human being. And just to be able to have the experience that he has and the knowledge that he has as a rookie, being able to learn from someone like him, how could you get it any better way? And there's no surprise that he's up for, the Man of the Year award. Like I mentioned, he's a great human being and he wants to see the people around him succeed. and he's going to challenge you to be the best version of yourself. And that's what he does each and every single day he comes in.
What's it like being around Jayden Daniels, Mike?
Awesome. Jayden's such a cool dude. He's another one, elite competitor, wants to be the greatest. And, I see the work ethic he has. He comes in the building every day, 5:30 in the morning. He's already walking through, their calls for the week. He shows up early, leaves late, takes care of his body well, does everything he needs to be to put himself in, the position to be a great quarterback. And, I love to see what he's doing right now. And he's a leader. And then, he has that chip on his shoulder of, he wants to be great.
Give me an example where you realized for the first time he was a cool customer, whether it's on the field where you're ready to come back on the field. You think you're going to maybe come back on the field, and he's like, no, offense stays out here. You got one of those moments, Mike, throughout the season for you? Touchdown, maybe?
Shoot.
Anything that he did?
I think just him being able to, like, the plays he can create with his feet. And just being able to, I think he could scramble and throw it. He could scramble and run. But I'm gonna just go to, Chicago Bears, last play of the game where, he threw the Hail Mary pass. Defense, we just finished against, I think we gave a field goal or a touchdown, one of the two, but offense goes back out there. We all get on our feet and we're just watching the play develop. I'm right there on the sideline. I see him, make one guy miss. He scrambles back left, makes another guy miss. Then he gets set to throw it. Ball goes up, and the first thing I think about, I'm like, wait, there's a chance. Like, there's a real chance that this ball might get caught. I'm watching the flight of the ball. I see it get to about the 2-3 yard line. Zach Ertz jumps up, and at first I thought he's the one that tipped it, but it was actually Stevenson, the corner there, who tipped it back. And once everyone landed, all you see is Noah Brown back there by himself. And I'm like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. Did I really just witness this happen? And, you've seen it on TV before, Aaron Rodgers, but to be on the winning side of that, it was amazing. It was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced as a football player.
Yeah, and I think you'll agree, Mike. It's cool that Noah Brown had that catch and Terry McLaurin's having his as well this year. So at least those two guys know what it's like to win big-time football games.
100%.
See what I'm saying when I'm talking with somebody else? You get it? I've been just doing that by myself all week.
I feel you.
I'm happy for you. I'm more happy for Mike,
all right,
but I'm happy for you too.
Get him off the screen. I want two smiling Wolverines on the screen at the same time. Look at us. Who's got it better than us, right? No,
nobody.
That's right.
Nobody.
Mike, I bet you didn't expect that this was going to go this way, did you?
Oh, come on now.
Oh no, he
Come
knew.
on now.
He knew.
You can't put two Michigan guys in the room together after Ohio State win.
That's right. Not this week. Let me take this one shot with you completely off the board before I let you go. Converted wide receiver to a corner, to a defensive back like you, Mike. We've got a guy who I believe is going to be a runaway winner for the Heisman Trophy in Travis Hunter this year, doing both. He's a Biletnikoff finalist. He's a Bednarik finalist for whatever reason. The Thorpe people left him off the finalist list, but you are now going through the crucible of an NFL season. Do you think Travis Hunter or somebody even of maybe even lesser talents or his talents could do both in the NFL, could play significant snaps, like 100 snaps a game, splitting them on either side of the ball? Mike?
I want to say yes, because he's phenomenal at what he does. Like, it's not easy to play that many snaps. And clearly he has the condition for it. So I want to say yes, but at the same time, I feel like, once you do get to that, and once you're in the NFL, right, the season is much longer. And, I don't want to say it's more physical, but in a sense it is much more physical because you're going against grown men. And I think it could be done. It might not be done with the same amount of snaps, but I think he can do it. And honestly, I'm rooting for him to do it. So I think if he's able to step into a NFL organization and produce at the high level, both sides of the ball that he's doing currently, that's going to be something, that will be spoken about for generations. So, I'm rooting for him.
Mike, thanks again. Greatly appreciate the time. Love watching you ball out at the next level. I've told you this before. You and the rest of your teammates, certainly Team 144, mean a lot to me, and I'm always rooting for you. And in particular, say hi to Terry for me. Will you please, Mike?
I got you.
Tell him I said hi. In particular, straight from me, Rich Eisen. Okay?
I got you.
Take care of yourself, Mike Sainristil. Thanks again.
Appreciate you, Rich.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.